So first things first, the Woods of Beauty Hill is out in the middle of nowhere. You're gonna have to take a couple of dirt roads to get your ways out here. It is buried deep in farm country here in beautiful New England. And I do mean beautiful, this place is fantastic. Interesting things about this course, there are actually 3 playable courses available to you. Today I'm gonna play the links, which is the long layout. It's par 60, but there's also 2 other shorter courses. In fact, you can see the sign for one of them, it's the Cougar, and the third is the Bobcat over on that side. The Cougar is another par 3 course, it's pretty short, and then the Bobcat is a short little pitch and putt style thing. It's a par 2 setup just for beginners and kids, that kind of thing like that. So plenty of opportunities for disc golf here at this course. I think you're gonna like this place. The course is $5 to play around, or $8 for the day, which is very reasonable for the quality of the course that we've got here. I'm standing in front of the kiosk right now. This is where you put your money in the slot. There's scorecards available for people and descriptions of the different courses that are available. There's also, over on this side, a shed where they've got a lost and found, and behind that there's a porta potty you can use. So they're pretty well set for amenities. Practice basket is a beat up old basket from, I guess got hit by a tree at some point over the years and was one of the ones that they replaced. There's also a net set up, so if you want to practice a couple of drives without having to go fetch your discs, you can just throw straight into the net. So fun little detail about this course is not only do the holes have numbers, they also give them names. Unfortunately, the signs they provide don't give you a whole lot of information about what you're playing. You have to look, let me see down here, for distances on these little tubes they've got set up, PVC pipes that stick up next to the ground near each hole. So not a lot of detail on the signs. So first time you play the course, you might just have to play it and learn as you go. Hole 1 is the chute, and it is aptly named. About 300 feet straight down a hill. It looks like a slope you might see on a ski resort or something like that. This one is much easier to get to than you might think. At 300 feet, the slope is so steep. I threw a mid-range at it the other day, and despite the fact that I came close to getting an ace, what I ended up with in reality was being 50 feet beyond the pin in a mess of trees. In fact, if I hadn't hit those trees, I probably could have been 100 feet past the basket. So this is a touch shot. A mid-range or a putter, do you fine. Oh, treed. Okay, hole 2 has us playing back up the same hill that we just came down. We're going to be going up past that shed that you can see in the distance. There's a stone wall directly behind it. And then beyond that, there's a bunch of bushes. And the basket is hidden in right behind those bushes. It's literally on the back side of them, which makes it a kind of tricky approach shot. So I'm up here by the stone wall. You can see the bushes there. You might be able to see some of the basket if you look in between those 2 plants. All right. Should have a downhill putt from there. Oof. Saved by a tree. So it's a good thing my disc did hit a tree at the end of that drive, because there are OB markings along the wall and the dirt road beyond it. You see those white milk jugs, there's a cable running in between them that marks OB for this hole. So it's 484 feet according to the sign, but it plays a lot longer because there's initial elevation change here going up toward the stone wall and where you might see the telephone pole in the distance. It takes a turn to the left and then turns back to the right. and goes up another hill to get to the basket. So it's a pretty legit par 5. So what I was hoping for with that shot was that my disc would get up in the air a little bit and it would fade out at the end, and I'd be somewhere in this area here. I didn't get it high enough, it never faded out, but instead I've actually landed right in a spot where there's the red tee, and that brings up something I hadn't mentioned before. Not only are there 3 distinct courses here, the Lynx, the Cougar, and the Bobcat, but the Lynx has multiple tee pads. There's a blue, a white, and a red. Looks like, based on their usage, the blue is pretty much the only one that gets any kind of play here, but you know, at least you've got those options if you want to play disc golf with somebody who doesn't have the same arm that you do. Center cut. Oh, I put that up too high. All right, it's settled. I should be fine. The Artful Dodger is a short one, 225 feet or so. Just goes straight out, uphill a little bit, and then banks hard to the left. The basket's up there on a little grassy hill. Thing you don't want to do here is kick into the trees on the left-hand side. Woo. Only 200 feet, but hole 6 isn't what the sign tells you it is. There is a right-hand side lane here that'll take you into a hyzer down to where the basket is located, but there's also a left-hand lane here, and I don't know if that was added after the fact, after the signs were made, but I actually prefer the left-hand lane, which is not what the sign is telling you at all. Interesting thing about this hole, though, is that the basket is located in a little gully. I mean, not more than maybe 20, 30 feet wide, but it's down there low, so the only thing you see from the tee pad is the yellow band at the top. All right, close enough. Well, we're going to go over this little sapling. I wish I could give you a better view of what this hole actually looks like. It's 200 feet straight down a hill, just going over this wall, and then the basket is around to the left. In fact, from the camera's point of view, it's probably directly behind this oak that I'm standing next to. This is one of those shots where you throw it low, you might get the rare skip in ace. We'll get in. Oh, yes. I thought looking at the throw from the tee pad that I was parked, but it turns out I'm about 25 feet uphill from the basket still. Trash. Hole 8, 370-foot par 4. This is probably one of the softer par 4s on the course. It's uphill for the first stretch, and it continues to go gently uphill for the second half of it. We're just going up to about there. You can see there's an area where the sun is shining through, and then we turn right and head straight for the basket. I can see this one getting birdied quite a bit as a par 4. Would I make it a par 3? Probably not, because it's almost impossible to deuce. Get up there. Okay, that should be okay. Oh, I didn't put enough on that one. I'm going to be short. Okay, another split fairway hole. The basket is through that left gap, but the green is guarded by trees right over there. If you take the right-hand route and hyzer in, you can get around those trees. The tricky part about this particular hole, the basket is on a very steep slope, and I've watched many shots hit a rock or a tree root and just roll away. You end up 80 feet down the hill. I don't know what happened. They hit the tree, hit the ground, and then I missed it. Might have rolled away, might not. All right, the correct answer is it did not roll away. This one's pretty straightforward. 265 feet, straight ahead, slight uphill. It is a bit of a tunnel shot though. And if you kick a tree and kick deeper into the woods, it's pretty thick on both sides. I think of this particular hole as being one of those where if you're playing against someone and you just want to maintain your lead, maybe you just throw a putter 100 feet out there and then make your upshot a nice long one that you can accurately throw rather than trying to get there with the drive. Get off. Hole 11, the diamond. We got a left-hand lane, we got a right-hand lane. Either one of them is playable, whether you're a righty, lefty, flick, or backhander. This hole's got a line for you, but just are kind of tight, and the green is guarded by some trees at the very end. Oh no. Hole 12, about 550 feet, par 5. Half of the layout is just going straight up ahead. There's a slight right-hand bend to it. And then when you get to a stone wall, it takes an abrupt 90-degree angle turn and up a narrow fairway till you get to the basket. This one is tricky because it's basically a tunnel shot all the way and you have to play placement golf. Hold. Oh, good kick. Okay, so my drive landed right here, kind of in front of the camera. I'd much rather be further up here than I have a straight shot up along the wall and to the basket. But because I landed short, I'm gonna have to fight through some trees over here and try and cut the corner and get out to the other side of the fairway. Okay, made it through. Oh, trash. Yeah. All right, nothing fancy about this one. We're just going straight out there. Basket is in the corner of the field, about 310 feet. Okay, another short one. We're going to be playing along the tree line here, out to where you can see that big maple out in the corner. The fairway turns into the woods at that point, but it doesn't go very deep. I think the sign is a little bit deceptive. In fact, if you throw and you hit the branches on that maple and drop down, even if you're on the field side of the fairway, you can still putt over the stone wall that's there, probably be inside the circle. So I did not intend to do this. I was actually trying to play inside the tree line, but I put the disc out a little too wide. It didn't hyzer soon enough, and I landed in the rock wall here. Here I am, and there's the basket, drop-in juice. Oh no, not a good release. Trash. Well, that was disappointing. You finally get to a hole where you can actually throw some big rips, and you get weak releases on both of them. Oh! 330 feet into the woods. We got a nice tight gap for the tee shot. After that, it's pretty wide open and it just banks to the left. The problem is the green is on a bit of a slope. It's a little bit downhill away from the direction of the fairway. So if you get a good long skip, you can blow way past the basket. The sign for this hole suggests that we should be throwing out around these trees and then hooking back to the basket. It's a 200-foot hole, so it's just a big hyzer shot for a right-hander. I usually take a more direct approach and throw up this side of the trees, and there's a little poke and pray gap that I nailed the first time I was playing this for a birdie. I keep throwing that route whether I get the birdie or not. I don't know which is the proper way to play this hole. Oh no! Oh, I got very lucky with a tree kick. Oh, no throw. Hole 18, dog tired. This is a good hole and it can be a killer as your last one. We're going 300 feet straight out into the field here along the side of the tree line again. There's a couple branches dangling down that can get in your way. But once you get past the corner at about 300 feet, you then make a sharp right turn and finish with a basket that is on a downhill slope. Very easy to overrun that basket and end up 30-40 feet down the hill with a very long uphill putt coming. Interesting thing about this one is at almost 500 feet, it's still a par 3. Ooh, I don't think I made the corner. That could be very tricky. All right, so I'm a few feet from my lie and I can see the basket through the trees there, but I've got a lot of foliage that I'm gonna have to get through in order to make a shot under these trees. It might be worth it trying to go up and over. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, I really can't do this. All right, I'm through. Oh. Final thoughts. $5 to play for a round, $8 to play for a day. It's a bargain. It's such a lovely course. It's a beautiful facility. They've got all the amenities you could ask for, except perhaps a clubhouse, which I don't know. Maybe they've even got that hidden around here somewhere. I don't know. Multiple courses. The big one I think that the majority of people will come here to play is the Links. And that actually has, like I said, 3 separate tee pads on most of the holes, even though they all share the same basket. So you can get multiple skill levels out here, playing on the same card, still having fun. Drawbacks to this course, It's in the middle of nowhere. You will end up having to drive on some good old-fashioned New England dirt roads in order to get here. It's a bit of a drive off of the highway, so kind of hard to get to, no matter where you're coming from, unless you happen to be local. That said, definitely worth the drive. It takes me an hour and 10 minutes to get down here from my place up in New Hampshire. You know, Topo is, I think, 50 minutes. Franklin Falls Dam is maybe 40 minutes. I think that Topo and this course definitely have it over Franklin Falls Dam. I will drive past that one to get to either of these courses. And this one, honestly, even though it's a long drive off the highway, it's beautiful scenery. You're gonna love the view. There's plenty of spots where you get to see, you know, wide open farmland with mountain vistas in the background. Absolutely gorgeous. The course is exceptionally playable. It has pavered tee pads, good quality baskets, great fairways. It's a well-loved, played in course. Been here since around, I think, 2006. Although I don't know which of the courses that's here or if the original course is even still here, you know, from that time period. But it seems like the course, the links, is pretty well played in. Some of the tee pads are getting a little uneven. They are nice pavered tee pads though, and I didn't have any trouble except on, I think it was hole 18 where I caught, the edge of my heel. That could have been my footwork and not the tee pad's problem. And yeah, that's about it. There's no ridiculous OB. All the OB makes sense, things like roads and water hazards. Other than that, fantastic course. I highly recommend that you take the drive and get out here to play it.